The project was about revolutions, and the idea for it started in the summer when I went to see Eleanor Anton's exhibition. She did a collection of photographic portraits called Historical Takes.
For this project, we read The Underdogs, a book by Mariano Suela. It talks about the Mexican Revolution, and we made a portrait that had to incorporate a lot of things in the revolution in just one image. Here we tried to incorporate the role of women in the Mexican Revolution, because they took charge and they fought in the revolution in a time where women didn't have as many rights.
Taking on the task of building a darkroom was the biggest obstacle for our team. I did an activity where I had everyone build a piece of the darkroom. So they were basically tilt-up frames, and they built like 16 tilt-up frames and then pieced them together to make the actual structure of the darkroom.
I was really surprised by some of the people who ended up having really large impacts on the outcome of the portrait. Like people who typically I haven't seen get really excited about stuff, just really step forward and really shine.
My group started with the Industrial Revolution, and we had to read about Frankenstein. It's a book by Mary Shelley, and what we did was we compared Frankenstein to industrialization, how it's affecting our environment. And we're listening to our iPods and we're being ignorant to the fact that we're creating this monster. Like for us, it's really good at the moment, but at the long run, it'll turn into like this huge monster that we're not going to be able to stop. And by the end that we're done with it, we're going to be done with the world, you know?
Right now we're doing our paper bag plays. There's 6 groups. Each group gets its own bag of 5 different props.
And then we had to like make a play based on those props. So we had to like write our whole script, and now we're rehearsing it.
How are you going to somehow incorporate, is this a magical water can that grows bunny ears instead of flowers? It was obvious though that your energy, theater doesn't happen, guys, theater doesn't happen if there's not an audience. If there's not an audience, it's just crazy people talking to themselves.
Well, my story is about these kids are doing a garage sale. They find this guy that's walking out on the street and he buys stuff, gives this book instead of money to them. And the book basically makes them go into a parallel universe.
It's a lot of fun to be able to perform it in front of an audience. I enjoy it.
You get to scream in front of a crowd.
I like when people fight.
Maybe! I don't know how to explain it.
In the self-realization they worked on, they did a manifesto in Paul's class, and we called it the Hugh Manifesto Project. And they did a lot of poetry. In my class, we ended up talking about a chemical concept called stoichiometry.
We painted our own covers. We actually made most of the paint ourselves using tempera paint.
One of the things we'd observed with our students this year is that they had their own little pods, but they sort of were clueless on other people's life circumstances.
Reading the Walk a Mile in My Shoes poem, it kind of gave me a feel for like some people wrote their childhood and their memories, so I kind of got to know the person better through reading their poems.
If you walked a mile in my shoes, once in a while you'd fling off those precarious stilettos and send them careening into the abyss that is the sky. You'd whirl around and let air fill your lungs, and a blue electric current would course through your veins.
We had the students kind of look at their own ideas and what do you believe strongly in as far as a self-representation. Finally, we got to a place where they're actually feeling comfortable to reveal themselves on paper and sharing with their peers.
My manifesto, mine was more on a serious note. I wrote mine about how society is very quick to judge a person, and there's a lot of stereotypes. When you see a person, if you see, you automatically have an image of how they are in your head before you actually get to know them.
When I saw them on the wall for the first time, it was so powerful. Even the shoes that I wasn't really impressed with became impressive in the context of their peers' shoes and the poetry. Like the whole overarching completion of the shoe project was really, really cool.
And it's so frequently the case that what we would like to have is a return, a reprise, an experience like that which so excited us when we were young.
I think of all the projects I did this year, this allowed me to be the most creative, and it was really introspective, and I like projects like that because I often learn a lot of stuff about myself, and it gives me a chance to reflect on things that, things I wouldn't usually think about.
If there's one place in the country that's like going on vacation, for us, it's coming here. Because everybody believes in it, everybody thinks it, and wherever we go, in any of the buildings here, we're blown away by quality. So we're on this nationwide mission to pollinate beautiful work from school to school.
People may say, oh, it's finally finished, but it's not over, and I don't think the construction will ever be over because there's always construction going on at our school, and there's always things that help the school blossom even more.
For more information, visit hitechhigh.org.